Race of the morning, the Prince Phillip Challenge Trophy Junior Women's 8s. Headington School there in the light blue on the Buckinghamshire station. Racing Groton School, USA, Massachusetts. On the top of your screen on the Berkshire station.
Now, Headington School are a sort of a giant of junior rowing in Great Britain. They've been coached by Ryan Demain for as long as I can remember and have always been really good. I'm excited to see this race.
Yeah, this Headington crew are absolutely stacked. They've got junior world gold medalists in the middle of the boat. Helena Purvis in the 5-seat. She's also got a huge 5K ergo. So we've got rowers in this crew that are a real mix of the elite of British rowing compared to the 7-rower Lucy Pillar, 15-year-old. So it's a real eclectic mix of rowers in this crew. But Ryan knows what he's doing. He's obviously mixing up his very best rowers and trying to make sure he's got generational rowers that are going to be here for the next couple of years at Henley.
And that's really confident rowing, isn't it? As you watch this, you can just see that power going underwater, but then the time between strokes, that's what we call that, the sort of rhythm of how you, the ratio of how you do that, looks really, really good.
And they've been back and forth. Headington have been fighting it out between them and Hinksey. Shiplake have been up in the mix of this junior women's 8s all year. The leaders change now and again. They were the fastest crew at women's 8s head of the river. And then they were also the fastest crew at schools head. And they came third at national schools. So it's tight. It shows you how tight it is at the top of this junior women's 8s event. And I'm sorry to say, Groton, but you come up against one of the very best crews here in the competition.
You really have, and they're showing some class rowing right now. I kind of want this race to just keep on going because this is great rowing to watch.
Yeah, we said it in the junior women's quarters before, but the introduction of these events in the past few years has really pushed up the level of junior women's sweep rowing, and kind of isn't an accident that the junior women's 8 won the gold medal at the World Championship last year. There's junior rowers now who know this event is possible and they can get into a good crew and win it, and that's exactly what these rowers here at Headington are looking to do this year. Look at that timing.
Now, what's interesting to know is that the Groton School don't row in 8s at home. So they typically row in 4s, and this entry is their top 2 4s put together in an 8. So this isn't their normal boat class, and how different is that?
Yeah, we've seen that this morning, haven't we? Lots of crews that switch from sweep rowing to sculling, or maybe rowing in a 4 and now doing a quad. And the Groton School are generally rowing in 4s and jumping in an 8. It's much faster, it's much punchier. There's many more personalities to get on the same page, I can tell you that, as a sweep row in an 8. And to come up against one of these top crews here is also great. You want to race one of these crews, and then you want to hope they go on to win the whole entire regatta, so you can say that for forevermore, knocked out by the winners. But are we looking at a potential winner of this event here? I think they look very strong today into this headwind.
We definitely could be, because this is, I keep saying it, I can't applaud this crew anymore. They've been drilled very well. They must have trained super hard through the winter, and I'm sure coach Ryan Demain has been very, very specific with his technical coaching of them.
As we look back in Groton School, Massachusetts, they're probably used to popping over to Boston and racing ahead of the Charles. Slightly scrappy with their oar, their blade work. When we talk about blade work, I'm looking at their oars, those long sticks. How well are they going in and out of the water? That really is how you propel your boat. A bit like if you're about to go into the pole vault. You want to jam your pole vault into the bucket and flip yourself over that bar. Is exactly what they're doing with the oar here. So you've got to be in control of it. And Groton are doing a good job. They're keeping the rates up. They're keeping the pressure on. And flag up there. The umpire's slightly warning Headington to move over. And Groton are getting banged around in that wind a little bit.
Oh, it's super tough out there. It's so hard to explain from looking at it, because you can't see any massive waves. But instead of one individual waves, you've just got a really sort of swirling and rolling river.
Yeah, the rowing stroke's about being consistent. You want to keep tapping along, stroke after stroke after stroke. And if you have wind battering you, it kind of stops that. It stutters you a little bit. So you've got to be strong enough, have that coherence to ensure you're doing that. A little look across there from Coxie, Alison Powell of Headington in this bright blue. Just checking. You don't want to tell your crew to take the rate down or go slower if suddenly a crew are right behind you, can take the slip on you. So she was just double checking. She did it again there, just saying, keep calm here. We've got 300 meters to go. Keep tapping it along. Keep your heads in the game. Head up, chest up. Enjoy this.
Yeah, that's it. And when you're in this position, you're thinking now about how can we put ourselves in the best shape for the next race. It's like the cool down starts now, right? The next race starts now.
It doesn't. Even though you're going to be one of the fastest crews, and you know you've got pedigree, you've got to go out there and still do it, don't you, Jack? It doesn't come. They don't trip up and do this by accident. This was because of the miles they put in during the winter. This is because of the discipline these rowers have had around their school studies and actually their training. This is how it pans out. The hard work's being done. This is them turning up now and turning it on. So that's a win in the Prince Philip Challenge Trophy for Headington School over the Groton School, USA.